Herman,
Here.
Tauschak, Matsdorf,
Here.
Gilson,
Here.
Hildebrand,
Here.
Penkwitz,
Here.
Binder,
Here.
Nelson.
Here.
Let the record show we have a quorum. Next is a pledge. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Penkwitz,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Gilson.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Item 4 is the audience portion where we ask people to sign in and be recognized by the chair. This is where you do the talking and we do the listening. Tonight, we have a few people that signed up. I'll call your name off and you can stand where you are if you wish. There's microphones in the ceiling. We just ask that you use your outside voice instead of your inside voice so that the microphones pick it up. First person on the list is Julia Griffin. Julia?
Good evening. My name is Julia Griffin. I'm a resident of South Hills subdivision. I do thank you for the opportunity to share a concern of our community this evening. Some of you have probably already heard from some of your constituents their concerns regarding the rezoning of the 1.9 acre lot on the corner of Hillendale and Highway 67. As I'm sure you know, this council is going to be asked to vote on the rezoning of this lot from agricultural to business in the upcoming weeks. In the time between now and then, the community requests that you do not take this decision lightly and obtain all the information you need to make the right decision. Some things that we as a community are concerned about. It is already a relatively busy intersection. It's my understanding that this is a challenging intersection for our community to obtain any type of traffic stops due to the combined municipalities of that area. The infrastructure should be in place before we increase the traffic in an already busy intersection and not put the members of our community at risk and only do something that a family could suffer the loss of a loved one. This intersection is a path to many of our schools, especially that of young drivers to the high school. There is significant glare from the sun depending on the time of day and the direction of travel, especially east and west on Hillendale and PP as they travel directly into the sun glare depending upon the time of day. Let's focus on getting the infrastructure there to support the growth as well as a reduction of speed on Hillendale before we rezone this lot. It seems the progression is out of order and not in the best interest of the safety of our community. 1.9 acres sounds like a lot of land for one single Dollar General store. Is the plan really to only have one store in this lot? Or is this the opportunity to build more businesses to only further challenge the infrastructure of that intersection? How are we going to keep our community safe? Some questions that we ask you to consider. Will this change now make it easier for other lots to be rezoned if not further development on this 1.9 acres? Will you ask the tough questions about what it'll take to make this intersection safe before making a decision to rezone this 1.9 acre lot to business? If there's a fatal accident, will your conscience be clear? Several residents of Plymouth sent emails directly to the Planning Commission asking that they not pass this rezoning request, but in a few weeks it will be on the shoulders of you, the aldermen, the voice of your constituents, to decide if this is what's best for our community. Thank you for listening and taking the time to consider these points that have been made. Have a great night.
Thank you. Next person that signed up is Hat.
I am agree with everything Julia said. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. And the next person that signed up is Val
Freund.
Front. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valerie Freund. Born and raised, lived all my life in Plymouth. Moved out to South Hills over 8 years ago because I wanted to have a safe and quieter environment than where I lived in Plymouth. I felt I should come forward today with proposed rezoning because once the apartments were built, I noticed increased traffic, increased pedestrian traffic, increased accident or near misses in this intersection. I feel that someone will get seriously hurt at this intersection. I do like to walk my dogs a lot. I go on the bike paths down to the city quite often. And I do so with caution every time because of the speed of the traffic, the people coming quite close to me as I'm going up and down the hill. I'm just concerned that someday something's going to happen to somebody. So I just hope that we kind of relook at this and please keep in mind to keep all of our city residents safe before changing to B2. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Like I said, we encourage people to come and talk to the council and tell us what's on your mind, no matter what the issue that you might have is. I declare a public hearing open for the following council discussion and possible action. Ordinance number 13, an ordinance amending section 13-1-92 of the General Code of Ordinances of the City of Plymouth, Wisconsin regarding parking stall requirements. Also, we will have a public hearing after that on ordinance number 14, an ordinance amending sections 13-1-140 and 13-1-221 of the City of Plymouth zoning code regarding accessory structures. We'll have a beginning discussion by Tim Blakely, our city administrator, on both topics. We will allow anyone to speak at the public hearing on either topic as you so wish. Tim.
Sure. So the first one we're going to discuss tonight is ordinance number 13, and those are changes to 13-1-92 of the zoning code. So the city of Plymouth, again, regulates the number of parking stalls for an individual's parcel's use in the zoning code, other than the uses of B2 in the CB district. Those are typically our downtown parking areas where there really isn't enough space to enforce those parking requirements. But all other districts are outlined by 13-1-92. It has come to the attention of city staff based on conversations with several developers. And some of our codes related to retail and office uses are really a little bit outdated due to changes in consumer habits related to online shopping, increases in order pickup, employees working from home, et cetera. So this did come to the committee of the whole, a couple of months ago. The recommendation was to forward this along to Plan Commission for consideration. The change being proposed is for the retail and office building stores have the original requirement, one space for 125 of retail floor area for retail stores, except as otherwise deemed appropriate by the Plan Commission. And then for office buildings, one space for 250 square feet of office space, except as otherwise deemed appropriate by the Plan Commission. As previously noted, the deemed appropriate by the Plan Commission would require that a developer or a business prove via a parking study or appropriate presentation to the Plan Commission that the proposed change would be acceptable in the use presented. So at the Plan Commission meeting on September 5th, so just this past Thursday, the Plan Commission did unanimously recommend ordinance number 13, proposing a change to 13-1-92. Happy to answer any questions on this one.
If anybody else wants to speak on the first public hearing, ordinance number 13 as indicated, the chair will entertain that at this point. Seeing none, we'll go right into the second item, ordinance number 14. Tim, you want to start on that, please?
Sure. So ordinance number 14 is changes to sections 13-1-140 and 13-1-221 regarding accessory structures. Inspector Pete Shireman is here tonight. This may be his swan song meeting. maybe I don't want to jinx it, but this may be his last meeting before council. So these changes in the code, currently that's how accessory structures are defined. Currently, properties are typically limited in the number of accessory structures presented. This was before the committee of the whole back in June. It was a request of Alder Herman, also Inspector Pete, to really review and see is there potential for maybe one additional structure per lot or additional sizing per lot? So we have reviewed that. We have proposed changes to the ordinance as attached. I'm not going to go through those in detail. We did that at the committee of the whole and also at the Plan Commission meeting. And again, at their meeting on September 5th, the Plan Commission did unanimously recommend approval of ordinance number 14 regarding sections 13-1-140 and 13-1-221 to the Common Council for approval. Pete, any final additions or comments based on this ordinance?
No, I presented that, the concept or the ordinance idea to City Council and to the Plan Commission. We, did our community peer review, comparing us to others, and I've got 3 people that are waiting. I'll see them tomorrow morning.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you, Pete, and we certainly appreciate this effort going forward to make some recommendations for the city. So thank you for your time on that too. The chair will recognize anyone else who wants to make comment on ordinance number 13 amendment and ordinance number 14 amendment. Seeing none, I declare the public hearing closed. Chair will entertain a motion on ordinance number 13 adoption as presented.
I'll move to approve ordinance number 13 as stated.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Herman,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Pankwitz,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Hildebrand.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Moving on to the second item in the public hearing, ordinance number 14. The chair will entertain a motion to approve ordinance 14 as indicated.
I'll make the motion to approve ordinance 14 as stated.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll on ordinance number 14 as presented.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Pankwitz,
Yes.
Matsdorf,
Yes.
Gilson,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you all for the work involved in those ordinance changes. Moving on to item 7, proclamation. Proclamation recognition of Constitution Week in the city of Plymouth, September 17th through the 23rd. I will read it and then we'll entertain a motion. Whereas September 17th, 2024 marks the 237th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it's fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorial anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrities which will commemorate it, celebrations that will commemorate. Whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. And now therefore it be resolved that I, Mayor Don Pullman, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Plymouth, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week, and ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through the guardian of our liberties. In witness thereof, I have herefore set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Plymouth to be affixed this 10th day of September of the year of our Lord 2024. The chair will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the proclamation for recognition of Constitution Week.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? We have with us tonight, are you the president?
I'm the regent now.
Okay.
I don't want to be the president, thank you.
Come on up,
Thank you.
and we're glad to present the proclamation to you and your organization.
No, turn around. Yeah.
To you and your organization, and appreciate the effort that you do throughout the year.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you very much.
My name is Lori.
And if you want, you can go ahead and speak.
Well, I just want to read the preamble to the Constitution. It'll be short and sweet. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Thank you.
And as a thank you, we would like to offer the council a poster and a copy of the Constitution if you're interested.
Oh, certainly. Thank you very much. You can put them on the podium there, and we'll pass them around. Super. Thank you very much.
And then that'd be New 11. Oh, this is the bunch up here. So will anybody have front here like one?
You can leave some extras if you want to, sure.
Oh, okay.
That'd be appreciated.
We'll just do it like this then. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I suppose I better call for a yay and a nay on that before we go any further. My apology for being a little forward on that. Do we have a motion? I thought we did. Okay, we have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much, ladies. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mayor Coleman.
Moving on to item 8, new business. The mayor hereby appoints and asks the council to approve John Nelson to the Redevelopment Authority until August of 2025. Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion as stated.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Moving on to item B, approval of substation number 5 labor contract bids. I'll ask Tim Blakesley, our city administrator, utility manager, for a brief comment. Tim.
Sure, so this additional information was sent out to you early Monday morning. We opened bids Friday for the substation labor contract, so that was a little after the packet, the full packet went out, but I sent you this on Monday. So the Plymouth Utilities, again, is responsible for the construction and maintenance of electric distribution lines to our local homes and businesses. The Public Service Commission did approve a certificate of authority to construct a new substation in the town of Mitchell at their meeting on February 1st and issued their final order on March 4th. As we've had several items come before council before, we are slowly finalizing the bidding of the various components of the substation project. One of the last final large bids was for the structure, for the labor, was opened on September 5th. The low bid was from MJ Electric. We had 3 bids. They were both the lowest and most qualified bidder for the project. Our attachment 1, Forrester Electrical Engineering, who is our primary consultant for the substation project, did evaluate and has worked with MJ Electric in the past and has had success. It's anticipated that preliminary start work will be completed prior to February 25, allowing ATC to begin that site work prior to August 25. Staff requests common counsel of the bid subject to attorney staff review. We've done that with several of these as part of these larger contracts. We get the bid and then we look at the terms and conditions with the electric attorney we use with Boardman Clark to make sure the terms are favorable to Plymouth Utilities. Please recall that A&R will pay 8/11ths of this cost as part of the agreement, including the additional landscaping and site work required by the town of Mitchell. So staff does recommend approval of the bid from MJ Electric for $2.175 million. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. The chair will entertain a motion so we can discuss.
I'll move approval of Plymouth Substation Number 5 construction bid from MJ Electric.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion? Clerk will call the roll on the substation number 5 construction.
Gilson,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Hildebrand,
Yes.
Herman,
Yes.
Mattsdorf,
Yes.
Binder,
Yes.
Penkwitz.
Yes.
Motion carried, thank you. This next portion is our closed portion. We'll ask people to vacate the room, and for the press, we don't anticipate any vote coming out of closed session. So if you want to wrap up, feel free to do so. At this point, the chair will entertain a motion to go into closed session.